You're probably wondering, is this the right time to enter for new positions for BlackBerry stock, or should you wait longer because we're going to end up heading down lower? Now, if you saw my last video, I stated in the next few trading weeks, months, or like month and a half, we're going to be heading down overall lower. And that's been true ever since I posted it about a week and a half ago. I think we posted right about here. Been heading down lower. Now, I am going to be averaging down, getting new positions to average down lower. The only thing is that I have not entered yet because I'm expecting more downside. But in the same time, for the next few trading days, because today is July 19th, 2021, close at $9.88. We're at a level right now that I think we might reverse the upside and hit to the $11 to $12 price point range. We bounced off this upward trend support line quite a few times. So first time was in December 2018. Then we had a slant right here. It's technically not a touch point, but I'm including it because it's an obvious slant on June 2019. Then we have another touch point, came down, bounced off of support on March 21. Now we're at that level right now, so we could reverse the upside. And again, like I stated, going only up to $11 to $12 price point. The problem is a lot of people are going to have like FOMO, fear of missing out. They're going to buy in and they're going to get trapped because they're going to end up heading down lower. Now, it might not be all bad news. There's two reasons why you actually might want to enter now. But I'm waiting because I already have a good amount of shares too at the same time. So maybe that might be the reason why I'm kind of confident with waiting, because I already have a good amount of shares. But to each their own, like it's up to you what you want to do, if you want to wait or not. I'm going to explain the lower levels as well. But the two reasons first as to why you might want to enter now is it could go up to $11 to $12 and all that stuff. And then let's just say it even gets knocked down. And then as it's coming down, the patent sale comes through. And if the patent sale comes through, it could reverse the upside. And then it forms an upward trend support line right here. And just you missed your chance to hypothetically enter at the lower levels. Now, the reason why I don't think that's going to be the case, first of all, for this scenario, is the patent sale most likely is going to be done and publicized by end of September, which is the next earnings release date. And it could come out a little bit sooner, but the problem is by the time it goes up to like $11 to $12, by the time it comes down, I think it's going to be too quick where the patent sale won't be coming out this quick. In the next, for example, 3 weeks-ish time frame, maybe 4 weeks time frame. The next scenario that could happen, and as to why you might want to still enter at this price point, which is around $9.80, maybe $9.70, $9.60 like we saw today on July 19th, 2021, is it will spike up to $11 to $12 price point, then come back down, and then bounce off the support level and consolidate. Now, the thing is though, because people are anticipating the patent sale is going to be coming out by next earnings, like there's a good chance, it's not a guarantee it will come out, but there's a chance that leading up to it, it's going to start climbing up as well. So it doesn't have to, for example, like I said in the last video, bounce off this moving average rate or upward trend support line right here. Let me just cover this too. Okay, so just keep in mind this is upward trend support line, then I'll explain it in details. But it doesn't have to come down and break and bounce off to the upward trend support line as it's coming down. It could, for example, bounce off this moving upward trend support line right here and then go up to the upside leading up to until earnings comes out. And then by the time earnings comes out, let's just say the stock is at like $12 price point, $12.50 by middle of September, stuff like that. And then earnings comes out, patent sales announced, or earnings is really, earnings is going to be okay. It's not going to be crazy. You're mainly banking on the patent sale. That's basically what exactly is going to happen. If the patent sale comes through, the stock is going to jump roughly, in my opinion, about $3, roughly about going to be close to $15 price point, maybe a little bit higher, but around $15, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 14, 15 kind of stuff. And that will create a momentum where people are going to be like, oh, they don't want to miss out, so going to buying more shares and all that stuff. And the stock will just keep rising and all that stuff. So that's just FYI. That's what could happen because of the patent sale. Otherwise, if it wasn't for the patent sale, then we would drop down, and then maybe by the time we break through the upward trend support line right here, this blue one, we come down to the second upward trend support line and bounce off to the upside, meaning that the low part would be around the same price point, $9.88, $9.87, meaning that all you would have been doing is just holding on to cash while you could have bought at this price point. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because you could be investing somewhere else possibly, or collecting interest on it, whatever you might want to do. But again, you might not want to take a risk if you're just trying to enter at this price point anyway, especially if you believe in BlackBerry for the long term and all that stuff, right? Now, the other scenarios, there's two scenarios. So there's a scenario that I'm holding off for, and then there's an extreme case scenario. I might not even, I'll show it right now. just because I don't want to make the video too long. If I don't show it right now, I just don't want to make the video too long. I'll show it in the future price point. If it goes lower, yeah, this is what I'll do. So if it goes lower than what I'm going to state right now, in the future I'll release that video. But essentially, it's right now, let's just say spikes up to $11 to $12, comes back down, then I'm expecting to buy at the low $9 price point. That's what I'm holding off for. So low $9 price point and then bouncing off this upward trend support line. That has a touch point from March 2020 right here, came down, bounced off of support. It consolidated from July to August right here of 2020. Yeah, it broke through. I still haven't released a detailed video explaining why it won't break through this time, in my opinion. Quick disclaimer, by the way, before I continue, I'm not a financial advisor, not a professional. Everything I do share with you is just my opinion. It is not advice. So please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. Now, that video will come out in the next few trading days. Again, I apologize for the delay. Then we went back up above the upward trend support line, came down, bounced off support in December 2020, then went up, came down, bounced off it again in May 2021, and then bounced off the moving average as well. So there's like that double kind of effect. Went up to the upside, and I think ultimately coming back down to bounce off it to have a nice run up to the upside. Again, not all this is guaranteed, but that's what I'm holding off for. So I've been waiting the whole entire time, at least to this price point I think I was waiting for, and to buy, because I'm just accumulating cash on the side to buy at a lower price point. Now, it's not a guarantee it'll do this again, like I stated, but this is a compressed 5-year graph, by the way. So it could hit $8.88, like I mentioned in the last video, $8.83. There's a chance it could hit $8.85, or yeah, $8.50. So it could come down. Let's just say it comes down dramatically right now, and then it bounces up and goes down. It could hit this moving average right here and bounce off this moving average to go to the upside, and that will be around the $8.50 range. I think, in my opinion, if I were to wait, I'd wait until $8.88, maybe $8.50, but $8.88 for the most part if I want to get the absolute best. But that's trying to time the market and all that stuff, which is extremely hard. The one I'll cover right now, the extreme case though, if you think it just, because the problem is, this is why you kind of should include the extreme case, is because if you watch my video about a week ago, I posted about the overall market heading down and everything. There's potentially more downside for the market, and because of that, like for example, BlackBerry, I was expecting to go down, but not necessarily this dramatic, but it was the same dramatic intensity as the January 2021 drop, and then it spiked up and then came down. Like I said, it'll have spike ups and then down, up and up, down, and all that stuff until it hits the upward trend support line, which could be the same play like I mentioned to $11 to $12. But the market's going down is kind of accelerating the drop, in my opinion, and because of that, we can see the extreme case. So I'll show it right now, right about here. As you could see right now, another reason as to why we could be bouncing up to $11, $12. Right now, we're at this level right here with the support line, the same one that I showed earlier, but it just shows the detailed touch points right here. There's two of them, not necessarily the first one being a clean one, but the second one is cleaner. Support level right here, resistance levels right here twice, another one right here, support, and then resistance right here. I'm sure if there's like probably, yeah, another resistance right there. But either way, so a reason as to why it could be going up. But the thing is though, the reason why we'll be knocked down at $11 to $12 price point is because of the horizontal resistance levels. You would need the patent sale to have enough momentum to pass those horizontal resistance levels. Otherwise, I don't think we have enough momentum to pass them. That's the problem. Again, it could go a little bit higher than $12, but nothing crazy overall, in my opinion. Now, if you bank on this upward trend support line being hypothetically, like it's not clean because the 5-year chart in the algorithmic view is the actual representation of it. But if you could just hypothetically visualize an upward trend support line in a way with 1 touch point, 2 touch point, if I adjusted it, if I did, but I'm not going to, I apologize. First, it would drop down to the low $9 price point, go up to the upside and all that stuff. But it's probably going to ultimately come down to this upward trend support line right here, which shows right now $8, like low $8 price point. But when I measured it, there's a chance, hypothetically, it depends on how fast it drops there. If it takes time, which I think it will, then you could look at the low $8 price point. Maybe it's kind of a stretch, but maybe you could see $7.80, $7.70 again, like we saw back in May 2021. We went down to $7. I think it was like $7.77. It's saying $7.71 right now, but not sure. So $7.93 or something like that. I can't remember. But this is the 1-year chart, so it's still a little bit compressed. But that is a potential play. Now, the reason why I don't think that's going to happen, again, just to reiterate, is specifically first of all, let's just say even if we don't even spike up, right? The problem is leading up to it, by the time we get to that level, unless the markets are tanking, if the markets are tanking, unfortunately with no real good news or anything, BlackBerry stock would probably go down with it, but I just don't see that fully like that. But leading up to earnings, the stock will, in my opinion, will somewhat rally up because the patent sale is anticipated. And the patent sale is just not like 1 or 2 patents. It's expected to be a massive deal, especially how long it's taking. Now, another reason why the overall movement is to the downside, the reason why I'm kind of confident waiting to average down at a lower price point, somewhat, again, timing the market, which is not necessarily, it's definitely not easy. So it's not something you should really go for because it's not guaranteed. But the reason why I'm trying to hypothetically time the stock is because this moving average right here, the MACD line, is indicating still more downside. So this indicates if it's a bearish or bullish movement. So right now it is in the negative. It is a bearish outlook, bearish movement, not optimistic, indicating more downside. That still doesn't mean I don't think it will spike up. I think it will still spike up to $11 to $12 the next few trading days. But the overall movement for the next few trading weeks, maybe month and a half, is a little bit more downside unless it reverses back up to the upside, which I hope it will. I think it will, leading up to earnings when you get closer to earnings by the end of September. Hope you liked the video. Hope you found it helpful. If you did, consider dropping a like. It does help out the channel, so thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And if you like videos like this or other financial videos or other stock videos that I post, consider subscribing so you'll be notified when I do upload those videos. And that's basically it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.